This mom of three turned a small Etsy shop selling headbands into a $1 million business. It wasn't luck. It wasn't an overnight success. It was a combination of smart decisions, nonstop effort, and a willingness to learn from failure. But before she ever got to that point, Alicia Schaffer had to start somewhere, and that journey began with a 6-year-old girl who really wanted a hamster. Alicia wasn't the type of kid to wait around for things to happen. When she wanted something, she figured out how to get it. At 6 years old, she set her sights on a hamster. Most kids would have just begged their parents for one. But Alicia took a different approach. She set up a little stand and started selling seashells. One by one, she earned enough money to buy the hamster herself. Now, this might seem like just a cute childhood story, but it actually says a lot about the way she thinks. Even at that age, she understood a fundamental business lesson. If you want something, you don't wait for someone to give it to you. You figure out how to make it happen. That mindset stuck with her. In high school, she started her first real business selling engraved nameplates. They were personalized, unique, and in demand. Exactly the kind of thing people love to buy as gifts. It was her first taste of running a profitable business, but the biggest influence in her life wasn't her own ventures. It was her mother. Alicia's mom was what you'd call a free spirit. She was always creating something, handmade clothes, crafts, accessories, and selling them to make a living. Alicia saw firsthand that you didn't need a corporate job to make money. You could take something as simple as an idea, create something with your hands, and turn it into an income. It planted the seed in her mind that business didn't have to follow the traditional rules. But even with that early success and inspiration, things didn't always go smoothly. At one point, she started a business that completely failed. And when it did, she wasn't sure if she had what it took to be successful anymore. How have you dealt with failure or rejection before? Share your experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're there. For a while, Alicia ran a women's clothing boutique. It was everything she had dreamed of, owning her own store, curating stylish pieces, building a brand. But no matter how hard she worked, the numbers weren't adding up. Sales were inconsistent, and eventually the business had to close. Failure is one of the hardest things for an entrepreneur to deal with. It doesn't just hurt financially, it makes you question whether you're even cut out for this. Alicia could have walked away from business altogether. Instead, she looked for another way. With 3 kids, she needed extra income to help pay for their activities, sports, hobbies, all the little things that add up fast. But without a physical store, she had to think differently. That's when she found Etsy. Etsy was growing fast at the time, and handmade accessories were a big trend. She decided to start small, just headbands. No full boutique, no overwhelming inventory, just a few products to test the waters. In November 2011, she launched her shop, 3 Bird Nest. At first, it was just a side project, but something happened that she didn't expect. Within a few weeks, she had already made 90 sales. Most people don't realize how rare that is. Around 65% of Etsy sellers make less than $100 a year. Yet, Alicia's shop was already taking off. One of the biggest reasons was Pinterest. Her bohemian-style headbands were exactly the kind of thing people love to pin and share. And when people shared her products, more and more buyers started showing up. But the success brought a new problem. She couldn't keep up. When your business starts growing faster than you expected, what do? Alicia had started 3 Bird Nest to bring in a little extra money, but now orders were coming in non-stop. She was up late, sewing, packing, and shipping. It was exciting, but exhausting. She realized something important. If she wanted this to last, she couldn't do everything alone. That's one of the biggest mistakes new business owners make. They try to do everything themselves for too long. She hired extra hands to help with production, and for the first time, it really felt like a business. She also expanded her product line. 3 Bird Nest wasn't just selling headbands anymore. It was becoming a full bohemian-style brand, selling accessories and clothing that matched the same aesthetic. The brand name had personal meaning too. It came from a tattoo she had representing her 3 kids. Every part of this business was deeply connected to her life. And it wasn't just Etsy. She expanded to her own website and started selling on eBay. That move helped her reach international buyers. 15% of her sales were coming from outside the US thanks to eBay's global shipping program. But then, Alicia made a bold decision. She shut down her physical boutique completely and went all in on 3 Bird Nest. Would that risk pay off, or was she walking away from stability for something unpredictable? With sales growing, Alicia and her husband moved the business into a 7,400 square foot warehouse. Running it from home was no longer an option. They were now shipping out 800 orders a day. She built a team, hiring 15 sewers, mostly moms who wanted flexible jobs they could do from home. She also brought in a professional photographer to make sure her products stood out with high-quality images. In e-commerce, how your product looks online can make or break sales. Not everything was handmade anymore. To scale up, she started sourcing some items wholesale from India and adding finishing touches in-house. That small change increased her profit margins to 65%. Her work ethic was relentless. She lived by Mark Cuban's philosophy. Work like there is someone working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. But was this sustainable? And just how far could this business go? In just 3 years, Three Bird Nest became the second best-selling handmade shop on Etsy. Over 86,000 sales, bringing in around $80,000 a month. During peak seasons, orders hit 1,200 a day. But instead of just sitting back and enjoying the money, Alicia kept reinvesting in her business. That's another key lesson. When you start making money, don't just spend it, use it to grow. She also mastered organic marketing. She asked customers to share their purchases, engaged with them on social media, and offered coupon codes to keep them coming back. No massive ad budget, just smart, consistent branding. And she didn't treat her shop like a hobby. She treated it like a business. Her ultimate goal was to turn Three Bird Nest into a household name. So what's the biggest takeaway from Alicia's story? Well, she showed that success doesn't come from luck. It comes from effort, strategy, and the willingness to adapt. She failed, learned, and pivoted. She treated her Etsy shop like a real brand, not just a side hustle. Now, Alicia shares tons of content on her personal website where she talks about marketing, branding, and business. I recommend checking this out if you're interested in business and e-commerce. After all, if Alicia could build a $1 million business from headbands, what's stopping you from building something of your own? What ideas do you have that you would love to turn into a $1 million business? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful or interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.